In this video, I'll show you exactly how to create captions like Alex Hormozi, Grant Cardone, and other famous creators. Hi, my name is Kate and I'm a content creator specializing in smartphone videography and editing. This tutorial is the second one in the series about how to create captions in CapCut. And if you're new to editing or CapCut, I suggest you watch that tutorial first, as it will give you a very good base. In this tutorial, I'll be demonstrating how to do everything on a desktop version of CapCut, but everything can also be done on a mobile version. I personally love using desktop version of CapCut just because I find it being faster and easier to edit because you can use hotkeys and you can also select multiple layers at the same time and move them simultaneously, which is super handy, especially for captions. And now you can also back up your projects to the drive and be able to access them from either your desktop or mobile devices. So without further ado, let's get straight to it. If you have not already downloaded CapCut on your desktop, there is a link in the description. First of all, let's have a look. What makes the style of captions of Alex Hormozi and Grant Cardone so famous? These captions are super engaging. They really keep your attention so that you keep reading. So if you notice, they all use super bright colors, they change the sizes of the lines and of the words, they also use animations and pop-ups, so that the eyes and the brains of the viewers keep getting stimulated, they stay engaged and watch longer. And here's exactly how to do it. Let's go ahead and open CapCut and open a new project and import the video that we want to create captions for. So you just go ahead and drag it into your timeline. If you require more explanation, how to set up new projects, import files and things like that, please refer to the previous video that I mentioned before, which was a video 1 in this series of how to create captions in CapCut. Now let's go ahead and create auto captions. Obviously, we don't need to create them manually. CapCut does all the work for us. So go to text and go to auto captions, and here leave everything by default, English. We don't have any current subtitles, so we just leave it as it is and click on create. And now we already have the captions that are set by default. I'm just gonna go ahead and open one of the Alex's videos on the side so I have it as a reference. Let's use this one. It's one of his most popular videos on YouTube. The second thing that I do after creating auto captions is changing its style. So changing the font, color, sizing, and things like that. The closest two fonts to the font that Alex Hormozi uses in his videos is the Montserrat Boldt and the Boldt fonts. The first font, the Montserrat Boldt, is already in the font gallery in CapCut, so you just need to go to font and select it from the font list. I used it recently, so it's gonna appear on top for myself. And I'll just select it, and because apply to all is selected, it will be applied to all of the captions in my project. Now just go to case and select uppercase, since all of the creators are using uppercase letters. Or there is another faster way to do it. The way I do it for my videos is actually using the Boldt font. But the only thing is that it's not yet installed in CapCut unless you did it previously, so you have to download it from one of the websites like the Font Library or 1001 Fonts. You can do it for free from both websites. I actually explained in more details how to do it in the previous video, but it's super simple, guys. You just go to the website, download it, restart CapCut, and you're all set to go. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna delete what we just typed. And I'm just gonna go and select the Boldt font because I used it recently again. It's gonna appear on the top. See? Right away it's already all caps, so it's gonna save you a lot of time. You don't have to retype the whole thing. Now let's go ahead and change positioning and the size of the font. If you notice, all of these creators, they use much bigger lettering and they only use a couple of words per line. Normally it's just 1 or 2 and maximum 3 or 4 if these are shorter words. So we're going to increase the font to about this and just put the font a little bit higher and actually make it a little bit more narrow by dragging from the sides, the right or left sides. This is done to avoid the text being blocked on social medias. For example, on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts, there's a description at the bottom, and on the right-hand side, there is like and share buttons. So often the text is being blocked by these two things, and these creators are avoiding this problem by making the text shorter and just putting a little bit higher. A thing that these creators are doing to make the text pop is using black background, which is achieved by using black strokes and black shadows or glow. To do that, just scroll down until you see stroke, just click on it, And by default, it's already black. And I just like to increase the thickness a little bit until maybe 45 and scroll down. And you can go with shadow, and I would increase its blurriness a little bit. Or what I actually prefer doing is go with a glow instead, and I would increase its range a little bit and decrease the intensity. As I already mentioned, since apply to all was selected, whatever we just did was applied to the rest of the captions throughout the videos, which saves so much time. Now if you go through, you notice that a lot of the captions have too many lines and too many words in one line, which just looks a little bit overwhelming. And what these creators are known for is just keeping a couple of words in each line, sometimes only having one word in each line. So let's just go ahead and do that. So just go to captions, and here I'm gonna split some of the lines. So in here, I'm just gonna split it in here after word learned. So I get 2 captions out of 1. The next one, important that every day, I think it's good as it is. You try, this is definitely too long. So you try to do the maximum. I'm gonna, second one, of what is possible for you and you only on that particular day. Okay, I'm just gonna keep it for now like this, and just feel free to do it for the rest of the captions. I'm just not gonna do it for all of the video. I'm just gonna do it for the first couple of lines. Now I'm just gonna go back to the beginning of the video and just make the rest of the changes. First of all, I'm just gonna make sure that the captions are centered, because they do look a little bit off center to me. So I'm just gonna click on my mouse and keep holding the mouse and drag it to the right. And you'll see it will snap to the middle blue line. That means that it's centered now. And now I actually want to make the rest of the changes separately to all the other captions. And from now on, I'm gonna deselect the apply to all function, just because I don't want the rest of the changes that I make be applied to all. Because in the videos of Alex Hormozi and Cardone's videos, a lot of the things that you happen on the screen are not universal throughout the video. So you'll see from line to line, there will be changes in colors, in sizes, in animations, and things like that. So we're just gonna deselect apply to all. And for the first one, I actually want to increase the caption size. For the second caption, I actually want to put the word most on the second line. So I'm just gonna press the return or enter. And I want to increase the size of this caption as well. So you can either do it by increasing the font size in here, or you can also tap on one of the corners and just drag them to the right or to the top. I'm gonna leave it at this. And I also want to put accent on the most words. So I'm just gonna select it and increase the font size of this word only. So I feel like this is what Cardone and Alex Hormozi might do. Another thing that they might do is change the color of the most words. So go to color, and they normally use either very bright neon green or neon yellow. They don't have it here in presets, but it's normally something like, let's see, like this. If you notice, Alex Hormozi often uses floating text in his videos, and there are 2 ways to do that. Select the caption that you want to apply the floating effect to, go to animation, loop, and scroll down until you see jiggle. And in here, I actually want to slow it down, and to do that, just drag the slider to the right, to the lowest, which actually looks like the fastest, but it's vice versa. In case you didn't like any of these animations, let me show you how to do it manually. Let's just deselect the loop animation, and let's go back to text and scroll down until you see position. I'll just zoom into a time frame, so I'll be able to make more precise changes. And to do that, just drag with your 2 fingers outwards. Let's go. And I'm gonna go to very beginning of my text. And in here, I'm just gonna pin the position using a keyframe. Again, if you're not familiar with keyframes, feel free to go back to the first video. I explained it in more details. And I'm gonna pin this current position and go a little bit forward, maybe until here. And I'm going to change the position to maybe -800. See, it moved a little bit and automatically the new keyframe has been created in here. And I'm gonna move a little bit further and I'm gonna change the position to 850. And now it went down and a new frame is created automatically again. And let's go back. And in here, I actually want to go back to 800. Here you go. If you play it, it moves like this. You can again make it as slow, as fast as you like. So it's completely customizable versus an animation. You only can use what it's preset to. But this way it's going to take you much more time, so I prefer to use animations. Sometimes Alex also likes using animations for the very beginning of the videos, and normally it looks something like a pop-up animation. So to do that, go to animation, and under in animation you will see the pop-up here. Also feel free to explore other animations in this gallery because some of them are super cool and you don't have to use exactly the same that these creators use. Go ahead and be creative and create your own style for your captions. So far it has been pretty simple and self-explanatory, and now let's get into a little bit more complicated stuff. And actually the thing that Alex is also very known for is changing the color of his lines as he speaks. So whatever he's saying will be highlighted on the screen. To do that, go to beginning of your caption, select it, and create a copy of it. So Control or Command C and Control or Command V. Now what I want to do is I want to have two separate lines. The first line only having and I also, and the second line have learned as separate lines. So I'm gonna select the first one and I'm gonna get rid of learned. So I only keep and I also. And I'm gonna change the color of it to the green that Alex is using. For the second one, I'm gonna get rid of and I also because I have it in the first line and I'm only gonna keep learned. Here we go. And now I'm just gonna move these two lines the way that I want this to be positioned. Okay, so far so good. And I also learned. Now I want this to switch whenever I pronounce this word. So let me increase the volume of what I'll save. And let's play. And I also learned. Learn starts somewhere here. So I'm gonna make a split in these two lines. So I'm gonna go ahead and press this. It's Control B or Command B. And the same one for here, Control or Command B. Okay, when the switch happens, I want the first line go back to white and the second one change to green. Here it is. So let's play. And I also learned. Perfect, that's what we want. This is a little bit of manual work, but I think the result is worth it. What I also noticed that Alex Hormozi and Grant Cardone are doing is changing the size of the lines that are being highlighted. So I'm just gonna increase the size of green lines. I'm gonna increase it to 18, this, and then increase this one as well. So this is how it's gonna look like. And I also learned. That I think it looks great. I know that what you just watched could be very confusing, especially if you've seen it for the first time. So maybe just go back a little bit backwards and watch it again. And I highly recommend you practice it on your own videos. It will make much more sense. Now we just talked about captions, but for Alex Hormozi and Grant Cardone, captions go hand in hand with pop-ups. They use them in all of the videos, and I think it's an amazing strategy to keep the videos more engaging, just because the talking head videos can become very boring. And in order to spice up these videos and make them less boring, these famous creators use pop-ups in forms of emojis, images, and videos. So let's do that. Alex and Grant use a lot of stock videos and photos in their videos, and I'm just gonna show you how to do it quickly. I like to use 3 websites for finding free images and videos. It's Unsplash, Pexels, and Pixabay. So let's go ahead and find something related to learning. And let's download any of these images. Let's see this one. And let's go ahead and drag it into the project right here. And I'm gonna move it where the caption starts. We can change it later on. I'm just gonna move it to the bottom to try to imitate what they do. And they also like to fade in a little bit these images so it looks a little bit more organic. And to do that, we can use a mask. So let's click on mask, Let's find split. And I'm gonna rotate it and fade it a little bit by dragging this little arrow. And I'm gonna move it like this and maybe fade it a little bit more even. Perfect, it looks great to me. And what they also do is that they animate these images so it doesn't just appear abruptly. Let's go to animation in and let's find something similar. We can try to use slide up and increase the speed a little bit, maybe 0.2, like this. And in this case, maybe I'll also move the text a little bit higher. Another option to use instead of the stock images is using emojis and just different stickers from the gallery. And CapCut has a very extensive gallery of different ones. There's a trending ones, there is emojis, or you can go the regular route and use emojis that you use in a daily basis. And I like to find mine online. And I'm just gonna go to any of these websites and find something related to learning, maybe writing down, or maybe I'll find a student in here. Yeah, maybe I'll go with the student. So I'm just gonna copy it. And when I come back to the project, let's delete this image and I'm going to text, default text plus, and I'm gonna go and paste my student in here and change the size a little bit. And here I'm gonna move her. Let's keep her in here and I'm going to move the emoji to the beginning of the caption and decrease the length of it so it matches the text. I noticed that Alex often animates his emojis and his stickers, so let me show you how to do it. Let's go ahead and delete our girl emoji and let's go to stickers because, as I mentioned, CapCut has an amazing library of stickers. I love using emphasize stickers in my videos, like these arrows in here. I'm gonna go ahead and select this one and make it the size of the first part of the caption, just because I want it this way. I'll make this smaller and move it to where I want to start moving. We will be doing this using keyframes the same way we did it previously, but you can go ahead and explore the animation tab again and select the animation that you like, but I know Alex, or better say his editor, uses keyframes for this. I'm going to go to the beginning of where it starts and select a keyframe by its position. And by pressing it, you see that the keyframe is created automatically, and you can move the slider to the end of caption. You see that if we move the slider to the very end, it will disappear. So what I like to do is I go a keyframe before that and I'll move it manually with my mouse, or you can also do it using the numbers in here. You can press the top arrow or bottom arrow, or you can also change it by changing the numbers in here. Let's say I want to try this number, but see, it will take a longer time for you to do that, so I prefer to just move it manually. And when you do that, you see that the new keyframe is created automatically. I'm just going to go ahead and move the keyframe a little bit to the very end because we couldn't do it previously. And see, this is how it looks like. And the last thing about pop-ups and how to take them to the next level is using sound effects like Alex Hormozi does. CapCut has a library of sound effects that you can explore. For my pop-ups, I love to use pop sound effects, something like this. You can use something like ding, or really any other sound effect. I just showed you how Alex Hormozi and Cardone have been creating their captions for ages, but I recently noticed that Alex actually changed his style a little bit, so let me show you how to create his current caption style. For this style of captions, let's deselect the stroke and the glow. And from here, we can actually select one of the presets. This yellow preset will work pretty good, or this white one as well. So let's go ahead with the yellow one. And everything is pretty much done from here. The only thing that we'll do is actually to change the color to a little bit darker one. I think he's using more orangey yellow like this. And he also rounds the corners of the background just a little bit. So let's do that. Rounded rectangle, just like this, maybe a little bit more. Rounded rectangle, something like this. So this is what he's using right now for his captions. And this is it for this video. If you found it helpful, please give this video a thumbs up. Let us know in the comments below if you have any questions, and stay tuned for upcoming videos where I will be showing you how to create my favorite types of captions and how to put your captions or any other text behind yourself. And of course, don't forget to give us a follow if you don't want to miss any upcoming videos. We'll see you in the next one.